Hey guys, this is Gerry Orz, Point for Kids First, and today we're at Dreamworks Animation TV Studios, and we're going to learn about Dreamworks Animation TV, meet a couple cool people, and just have some fun. Let's go see what we can learn.
I bid you welcome.
We are here with Turbo and Belt, and Peter Gal, who's the head of TV development at Dreamworks. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for coming by today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a beautiful day in this beautiful office with a great view.
Yeah, thanks. We just moved in here last November, and we've already got almost 400 people working on making all of the new cartoons we're putting on Netflix.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So when you first thought about Dreamworks TV, what did you think? Do you think, man, this is going to be such a good idea and everybody's going to love it, or something else?
That's pretty much what I thought. I mean, like, I was already working at DreamWorks, and we had all these incredible movies, like 25 years of movies, 25 movies over 20 years. And so we knew we had all these great characters, and we wanted to make a series out of them. So it was just a super exciting opportunity.
It sounds very exciting, and I toured the office a bit, and it looks very cool.
Yeah, we've managed, as I said, we moved in here in November with like 40 people. Now we have close to 400, and they're all different kinds of artists. There's the artists that do the texture and the modeling and the rigging, and there's storyboard artists that are drawing all the cartoons, and there's writers. And so it is exciting every day because we just get to see the creative process from the very beginning and see stories come to life.
It is very cool. So I know your job is almost a project manager. You make sure everything's set, you give everybody what they need, and they give you what you need to give to other people what they need. Mm-hmm. So what is a normal day? You come to work at blank a.m. and you go home at blank p.m. What is a normal day of work for you?
A normal day of work is you get in maybe around 8:30 in the morning, and you leave maybe around 7:30, but you do take a lot of work home with you because we have a lot of projects going on. I'm sure you saw on the tour, we're starting up so many different shows at once, like, a dozen shows at once. So we're really, really busy. But an average day here is a lot of creative meetings. So there'll be meetings with writers, meetings with artists, meetings on new projects where we're trying to figure out if it's based off of a movie. Hey, we're taking a movie out of the library. What do we want to do with the movie? What would be the best version of it in a TV show? What's the coolest characters? Like, I think you saw something for our upcoming King Julian show. So we knew we wanted to do another series based off of Madagascar, and we went back to the movies and we decided that King Julian was the character we wanted to use. And then we started to build the series from there.
That actually leads me to my next question. So I know a lot of your shows are based off other shows or movies. So how do you decide what show or movie we're going to do to make this, show or movie?
It depends. There's different things that attract us with different things. With King Julian, it was just that one character, and Mort and Maurice too, and just how funny they are. So we knew that would make for a great comedy. With Puss in Boots, it was an entirely different kind of equation. We looked at the Puss in Boots, the first film. We looked at him in the Shrek movies, and there was just this kind of great, incredible sense of adventure about Puss in Boots, and we wanted to capture that and do a show that was really an adventure show. So it's less about us deciding which properties to do and more us looking at the property, looking at the movie, and figuring out what's the most exciting element of it. What's the most exciting thing to do with that movie? Because we kind of want to do series based off of almost all our movies. Like, there's something in each of them that's worth exploring.
Definitely. And I have to ask this. TurboFest was your very first show, and it is actually now on Netflix. It's already released.
Yep.
So it's actually very surprising. And when you saw TurboFest released, what did you think? Did you think, yep, just like I thought, this is going to be fantastic? Or did you start getting your hopes a little bit down?
No, I thought it was going to be fantastic. I mean, Turbo was a really interesting one because the TV show is very different from the movie. And that's the first time that DreamWorks has ever done that. All of the DreamWorks TV shows based off of movies before were, the TV show looked just like the movie. They were both in, CG. And Turbo was the first time we took that big risk and did a totally different looking TV series. So we were a little concerned about that. We were just uncertain about how kids were going to react. But, as soon as it went up on Netflix, kids embraced it. They loved it. Ultimately, it's the animation is very important and the quality of the animation, but the specific style might not be as important. Kids, if the characters are great and it's funny and they like the storytelling, they're going to love it. And so they really embrace this new look for Turbo, and it's doing great.
I have to say, my number one thing about it is that I love the randomness.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the writers are always looking for new, crazy, random things to put in, and things that we can kind of tie back to later. Like, about the worm? There's this hidden worm in every episode, and then, it's kind of a game to try and find them in each episode. So they're always looking for, the comedy is very random and much more random than what was in the movie. And that's kind of sometimes the difference between movies and television. The movie might tell a deeper, more dramatic story, like the Turbo film did, had one big, important story to tell. And then the TV series is going to tell, hundreds of smaller stories that are kind of random and fun and silly.
It is definitely very cool. And what do you have any little hints you can give us for new shows coming up?
Well, we've got King Julian, which I mentioned, which is set in the before the Madagascar movies happened in Madagascar. So that's really fun. We've got Puss in Boots coming, which features Puss in Boots, but then a whole new cast of characters around him who are really great. And if you like random humor, there's a lot of random humor in Puss in Boots. We've got VeggieTales coming up. And VeggieTales is interesting because it's been around for like 20 years, but we did a whole reinvention of what that is, and totally redesigned the characters, and brought on a showrunner, a writer and artist who is known for his like kind of crazy random storytelling also. So that one's going to be really fun. We've got a few more things I'm looking up on my bulletin board where I can see the slate, but we've got a series coming off of the Mr. Peabody and Sherman show, which we're really excited about, and that one is that's going to be a very, very different from the movie too, a totally different look. And we've got an original series called Dino Trucks. This is the one series in the first group that is not based off of a feature film. But it imagines this incredible world that's filled with creatures that are half dinosaur and half construction vehicle. So it's really exciting.
I have learned that it's actually dino. It's a dinosaur and a truck, not a construction vehicle. I've learned that I have been corrected by your workers that it's a dinosaur and a truck.
It is both. You are right. Thank you for correcting me.
And it's actually really cool, Dino Trucks. It looks a lot like Transformers, but not. It's actually a whole thing that they are just vehicles. They're not robots in any way. They're just vehicles, which I think is very unique.
Yeah, it's a world. These creatures are half vehicle, half truck, and half dinosaur. So they may look, when you first see them, they would look just like a truck with some features that look like a dinosaur. And then when you see them come to life, when you see them move and you see them, act, they really feel like dinosaurs at the same time.
It definitely looks like I've seen a couple art of it, and it definitely looks very cool. So how can people see DreamWorks TV for these when all these cool episodes are in?
How can they see the episodes when they start posting? Well, they can get Netflix. That's the easiest way to see it. I mean, I imagine we'll try and put up some teaser episodes of things on our website, and we'll also try and have some promotional pieces on DreamWorks TV. So we're going to want to make sure that everyone can see some piece of it. But if you want to see it all, Netflix is going to be in the U.S. Netflix is going to be the only place to see all the episodes, and we're going to be launching, almost 14 shows over the next few years. So there's going to be a lot of original new DreamWorks shows on Netflix, so that would be the place to go.
Well, a lot to look forward for the next 2 years from DreamWorks TV and on Netflix. And also, I know it's a very specified way you're releasing these episodes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, since I know you watch Turbo Fast, for Turbo Fast, we released 5 episodes at a time, and we did that like 5 times during the year, like at key points that are important for kids, like, around the holidays and Christmas time, around spring break, beginning of summer, end of summer. So that's when we each of those times we would drop 5 or 6 episodes. But and we're right now deciding whether we're going to do that for every series going forward, or for some of the upcoming series, maybe we'll put more episodes up at once. Maybe we'll put 10 episodes up at once. We're really not sure because this is a whole new way of watching television. I mean, nobody's done this before. So we're going to figure that out over the next little stretch of time as we launch each series.
Well, it sounds very cool. Thank you so much for talking to me and letting us and the viewers know a lot about it. And thank you two, for making movies and shows about to make us, well, entertained. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming, and stop back anytime and we can show you more as the shows take form.
We're grateful for your hospitality.
Definitely.
Excellent.
Right now with Margie Cohn, who's the head of TV, like the big boss of Dreamworks TV at Dreamworks. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Fantastic.
Happy to be here.
Oh, you have no idea. It's a lot of fun.
Great.
So you are like the big boss of Dreamworks TV. You like make sure that everybody's in order and everybody does their job, right?
Well, I usually don't have to make sure because people here are amazing and they love their jobs and everyone is very conscientious. So I get to interact with all these amazingly creative and talented people.
It sounds very cool. And how is it working here? Because I know that Dreamworks was rated one of the top places to work in the world for multiple years.
That's true. And, you know, one of the things I always admired about Dreamworks before I came here was that it was a company that was known for just amazing work. Quality films, I was already a fan. So I knew that content was really important to them. So I was excited to come to a place where I thought what we'd be working on would be the most important thing and not all the politics and business of, you know, television.
And I also heard that the way you make these episodes, because I know you have very interesting regulations on how you release them and how the process goes. What do you think of that style? Do you think it's better than traditional, or do you think it's
Well, I think the world is changing. I mean, I'm sure you watch a lot of your shows on your computer, right? Your favorite shows. And also, people seem to want to watch what they want when they want. So, you know, sometimes I'll go and look for a show at 7 o'clock and they don't have it. You know, it's on at 10. I want to go to Netflix or another streaming service and watch, you know, the way I like to. So I think it's a trend, and I think it's time that originals were made available for kids too.
so? What is a normal day for you at Dreamworks?
Well, we have a lot of meetings, but a lot of it is about creative stuff. For example, you know, we just love our jobs because we get to talk about things like what the right fart sound should be in a cartoon. Should it be wet and juicy? Should it be dry? You know, these are the important matters that we discuss here. But mostly we're reviewing, you know, scripts. We're talking about future episodes. We're taking pitches for shows. You know, we're making sure all the pieces are coming together so that as many people as possible just love what we're making.
And when you first heard about Dreamworks TV, what did you think about the idea? Did you think it's a top-up, positive idea, or did you think no one in the right mind will think this is a good idea?
No, I thought it was a great idea, because think about how long it takes to make a movie. I'm not sure if you know the movie process, but sometimes it will take 5 years before a movie goes from idea to the screen, and then it's done. It's over. Like, you could still watch the movie, but there's all these characters and worlds that are created, and they're just, you know, on screen for little minutes. So there was all this great creative content, and it felt like fans would want to see more of these characters than just this 1 hour and a half. So we were excited. We thought it was a great idea, and that it gave kids a chance to interact with DreamWorks, you know, 24/7, 365 days a year. They can just download, you know, TV shows.
It's definitely a good idea. So I know that in the past, I mean, now you're mainly working on animation, but in the past you worked on actually live action. What do you think you prefer better?
You know, I like them both. You know, live action is great because you're interacting with a lot of actors and people, and the episodes are all done in a week, which is kind of cool. And in animation takes 9 months.
Compared to this, the Indy 500 is just driving in a big dumb circle.
But, you know, they're two different kinds of art forms, and I'm not sure one is superior to the other. I think they service different audiences sometimes. I think often boys will trend, you know, and go towards animation. Girls will like live action. But I know that there are fans for the other as well.
You know, I have to say I like both. Animation, you can do a lot more for something with sci-fi, but live action, it's just more real. A lot more you can imagine with the world.
Well, that's true. You can really reinvent things in animation, like animals don't talk in real life. So it's, you can just imagine what it's like inside all these creatures' heads and create something really fresh and new.
It's definitely true, and just in general, DreamWorks TV is definitely a big step towards something really great, and I think it's a very good idea for DreamWorks to do something like this. And, when you first saw Turbo Fast, the very first show that you guys made, were you still thinking it would be a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah, I love Turbo. I thought it was great. The style seemed really right and kind of hip and fun for the cartoon and what needed to be accomplished creatively, so that we can change locations a lot. The 2D style, it just gives you more flexibility. So I thought it was really fantastic.
And I also know, since you just said it's 2D, it's actually the very first show from a movie that you converted from 3D CGI to 2D.
Seriously, Turbo? None of this seems strange to you?
Well, drawn animation. So do you think that definitely worked out for the better?
I think it did. I think because of the creative direction we chose, I think we want to match the visual style and the type of animation to the kinds of stories we want to tell, and also the characters. So Puss in Boots, I think part of the fun of him is that he's like house cat. Like, he's little and he's furry and, he drinks milk from a glass with his little tongue. And if we had made that 2D, I just don't think it would have been the same. It would have taken all the, what makes Puss funny and just made him like everybody else.
So honestly, it's just such a cool idea, and I think what you're doing is fantastic. Do you have anything else to say about DreamWorks TV?
Is there any, I just want to hear from you. Is there anything we're not making that you want us to make?
Well, every movie that you guys made.
All right. Done.
How we gonna do that? I have no idea.
Thank you so much for talking to me. It was a lot of fun.
Good. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. Hi guys, this is Gerry. Well, the event is over, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. We got to see the animation process. We got to meet a lot of cool people, and it was just a lot of fun in general. Sadly, it is over, and I'm Gerry Orz, your host, signing off. But before I do that, watch Netflix for upcoming new shows. Well, right now we have Turbo Fast, and as you can see, a new show is coming as well. Well, anyway, guys, this is Gerry Orz reporting for Kids First. Bye.